Good morning. Look at our beautiful corn head. We even got Brock here this morning. We're gonna get this thing put back together today. All our parts are good and dry, so yeah, the head it's settled down just a little bit over the weekend, so I'm gonna pick it up so it's at a comfortable working height, and we're gonna get started reassembling. All right, so we've got all these gathering chains here that we haven't done anything with. I've decided we're gonna keep running them again, but we need to lube them up as best we can. I'm trying to figure out the best way to do that, and here's my idea. We're gonna put them in this bucket. We're gonna coat it in oil. We're gonna pour enough in there to cover them, let it set for a couple of minutes, and then we're gonna hang them from this, or hoist, and let them drip off. And it's gonna be a nasty, drippy, dirty mess, but it'll get oil in on all those pins and get everything lubricated well. It is what it is. So they may end up having to hang and drip dry for a little while before we get them all installed, but we'll see how it goes here. I may do one and decide that's not gonna work, but we're gonna start there. We'll pull out our covers that we had put in there. Nice, looks good. All right, well, we can start reassembling here. So our new deck plate is going to be about the first thing to go on. It's going to be a while before we get to that one there, Brock. Yep, okay. We need to get our sprockets put back on the top there. Something doesn't seem right here. Well, maybe we're not going to put this back together today. These new deck plates are not even close. There's not that much wear on there. Crap. All right, well, we'll do some research here. All right, stupid mistakes. Don't make stupid mistakes. So here's the problem. There's a serial number break on these heads. I'm well aware that there's a serial number break on these heads. I know that because I have to enter that in every time I order parts for it. But I missed it when I ordered the deck plates from Not John Deere. And they sent me the ones for the early serial number. We have a late serial number. And so they don't fit. So now, in what was gonna save me $350 to buy them third party instead of from John Deere, I have to figure out what to do with the original deck plates, and they're a pain in the butt to ship if I have to ship them back. So we might do that, or I try and sell them at a discount, or I put them on the shelf and throw them away in 15 years when we don't know what they're for. Anybody need to buy some deck plates for an early serial number 608C cornhead or 600 series cornhead? I'll make you a deal. Anyway, I've called them to try and get the right ones. The problem is they're back ordered on the adjustable one. They don't have them, or they have them but not the spacer that's supposed to get sold with them, or something along those lines. The guy's supposed to call me back and see if they can actually sell me the deck plates, because I have spacers, right? That's what these are. These are spacers, but I don't know if they work with their deck plates. So they're going to call me back. I found our dealer does not have them at the local store, but the other dealer that we sometimes deal with does have them locally. So we might just run down there and get them. Long story short, I was trying to save $350 and may have cost myself $1,200. You win some, you lose some, but oh well. The problem is now I got to find something else to do today, because this is what we were going to do, and you can't hardly do anything without the deck plates. Like, we can put these sprockets back on. That's about the extent of what we can do here. Dang it. Okay, well, we got top sprockets on. And the other thing we can do, we can put our new chain on the auger. I have that. It's in a box somewhere. And we could put these sprocket arms back together, but we can't really put them on. So we'll do a few things here while I'm waiting for a phone call, and then decide whether we're going to go to a local dealer and get these, or if they're going to ship me the right ones. If they can ship them to me and I'll get them tomorrow, I'll wait and save the $350 the second time. If not, and it's going to be months, then we're just going to have to go to the Deere dealer and get them from Deere. The gray looks sharp. black sprockets, the gray hardware, and the green arm. They look sharp. Nice. Okay, those are back together. I think that chain's on the top box over there on our table. Let's get that put back on here, Brock. God, I'm mad at myself for making this mistake. Oh, no. Grind it off and start over. We got drips. Got a little heavy. Yeah, we knew that was going to happen. It's okay. All right, wait till we get that new chain put on there. Let Brock make the connection here, and then we'll get it tensioned correctly. And that one is good. I got a call back from Shoop, where I ordered those deck plates from, and they will sell me. But did I tell them why we couldn't get them, or what the problem was?
You said something.
Something, okay. Well, see, there's this little spacer. I talked about that spacer. Yeah, I did. They didn't have the spacers that are supposed to come with the new one, and they weren't sure they could sell me the plates without the spacers. But they can, and so they're going to send them. So we should get those probably tomorrow, maybe the day after. Holiday shipping, things take a little longer, so we'll see. But it's going to delay the rest of this head going back together. So anyway, I got to figure out what to do with these. Try and send them back or whatever. Their problem is they're heavy and not easy to ship. Bummer. All right, we're going to pause the corn head project for now. Brock, I need you to get all the dirt out from underneath the combine. We've got a project on this combine. We're going to have to talk about some stuff. But essentially, here's what we got to do. The piece that is bolted in there is getting replaced with the piece that's over here. Now, why? We'll get to why. But for right now, we've got to figure out how it comes out of there. And I think a lot of it is crawling around underneath the combine. We're going to need a light under there, aren't we? Yeah. My wife stole my good Milwaukee light. I'm gonna go get it. When you're as picky as I am about how clean stuff gets, the worst thing you can possibly do is get on a creeper and crawl underneath your equipment. Oh my gosh, it's filthy down here. Well, all right. We're going to take this plate off here and see what we got. I don't know. This is going to be a little difficult, so I don't know how well it's going to go, but we'll see what happens here. Oh, there goes that piece with more here. Okay, now let's see what we are dealing with. Here's the piece we were trying to get to, I believe. No, it's above that. It's up in there farther. Okay. Nope, it's this piece. This is what we're trying to get. All right, well, we got that bottom plate out. We took a couple of vanes out, wind vanes that were under here. And we've got this windboard loose. But we can't get it out yet. This nut is in the way, and this bottom plate might be in the way. And so we're trying to figure out how to get it out. The best solution that we have at the moment here is to grind the weld off of this nut so we can take that off and on the other side and see if that gives us enough room. And if not, we're just going to take the bolts out of the side plate of this and flex it down, and that should hopefully give us enough room. I have to take these bolts out to wedge that piece out of there. This is a lot of work for what we're doing. I'm second guessing myself, but it's all right. We're this far into it, might as well do it. Plus, look at all the stuff we're going to get clean. Ha-ha! We got it! Success! We only had to weld off or grind off 2 welds, 2 nuts. Okay, now let's go talk about what we're doing and why we're doing it. So this is the piece that we just took out of there. What this piece does is it sits in behind the fan here, right? So this piece right here is the cleaning fan, and its entire job is to blow air through the back half of the combine. It is blowing it up through the pre-cleaner right here and through the sieve and chaffer that sit in the back here that we currently have taken out of the machine, right? So it's blowing air up underneath in there, and then it comes up through all this stuff, and it keeps the light stuff, the trash, elevated so that it flies out through the back here. The grain, being heavier, falls down onto this pan, down into our clean grain auger down there. And, well, we're switching it out for one that divides the air differently, right? And so the way that this one is designed is it's got this long sweep here, and it's pushing a bunch of air up this way, which pushes it up towards the pre-cleaner, right behind the shoe auger bed. In fact, let me show you my literature. Greenmark has this recommendations for these combines, and we'll talk about this a little bit more, but this is the part that we're doing right now, right? And so this Class 8-9 windboard, which is the one that we just took out, it's directing 35% of the airflow towards the pre-cleaner and 67% towards the sieve and chaffer. And what they are finding, or what they're deciding, is that we're keeping all of the material elevated too far back. And so when you have this pre-cleaner in there and you're directing all that airflow right behind the shoe augers, is the grain can't actually get down to the chaffer and the sieve until it gets clear back here, and by that point you're almost to the point where you're losing it out the back. And so instead of this 67 or 65 35, is that really say, oh, it's 33. I was gonna say, is that really say 35 and 67? Because that's not 100. No, it's 33 and 67. Instead of a 1/3 2/3 split, we want it to be 85% 15%. And so we're switching out this windboard for the one that goes in the Class 6 and 7 combines that looks totally different. And it's gonna move that dividing point higher and reduce the airflow towards the pre-cleaner, which we have also removed. We actually did that a year ago, and push more air to the sieve and the chaffer. And then instead of this stuff having this whole, being elevated through this part of the combine and through this, over this pre-cleaner, now we're just going to dump it off of this first little section of pre-cleaner right down onto the chaffer through the sieve and give it more time to get separated before it heads out the back. That's the idea. They've proven that it works. You can see the difference in this one and this one. Like, let's put them side by side, right? So if I line the back side up, right there, this one is much, much longer. This sweep here is way longer on the one we're taking out, and that's what's dividing the air. We want more air to go under it than we do over it. And so we're going to put this new one in. And like I said, we already removed the pre-cleaner on this combine a year ago. We take it out every year to clean, but essentially you have this one here that's fixed, and it doesn't even come out. Everything dumps off the shoe augers. But then there was another one. Instead of these plastic fingers here, we had a whole nother one of these kind of pre-cleaner type separator grates, or not separator grates, chaffers, and it would send stuff clear back. Now, without that in there, changing this windboard, hopefully it allows material to get down and into the clean grain system faster, lets us run everything a little bit tighter, which should keep the sample a little bit cleaner, help keep some of the pods out of the beans, help keep some of the cob out of the corn. That's one of the changes that we're making, and this is all based on what my John Deere dealer has done in some of this research and how to make these combines work a little bit better. While we're on the subject, one of the other things is these separator grates that we have sitting here, and we're going to work on this maybe this afternoon here. But we have this separator grate that's got these built-in interrupters or disruptors here that's going to help break that crop mat apart. We'll talk more about how that works and stuff. But they also have a lot longer fingers, wider area. This goes around the back half of the rotor in order to try and get that material to fall out faster, to get it down. Again, everything is about getting the material out of the crop residue mat faster and into the clean grain tank and give it more time to separate out, rather than it working towards the back of the machine and we lose it before we get a chance to catch it. So we'll get to those. For now, we're going to clean up a little bit and get that windboard put back in there. By the way, Brock got our floor cleaned up, but I should also mention that all of these changes that we're making to this combine, John Deere themselves has kind of integrated into the new S7 series combine. So the new models that they released this year basically have all of these features standard from the factory on the Class 8 and 9 machines. So they come with the same windboard that we have. They come with the disruptors already in them. That was a study that I think our dealer did actually with John Deere to figure out, what kind of improvements could be made. So it's not just me blindly following my dealer, and there is some more study behind it than that. And not that I've ever been unhappy with the way that our combine performs, because we're running an 8-row corn head on a 780, right? We've got plenty of combine, but that doesn't mean that it couldn't be improved a little bit. And this was something that I thought we could try. All right, so there's our new piece. We've got it in. It does use a different hole. It's got a slightly different angle as well, but fits right in there. So that's going to send a lot more air up through this gap and into the chaffer and the sieve than it did up through the pre-cleaner. All right, we gotta get those bolts tightened up, and then we gotta figure out if we're gonna just put this bolt in or if we're gonna weld it on there. I can tell you already we're not gonna weld it on there. We're just gonna put it on there and tighten it up. Problem, they're welded because you can't get to them you can't get to the inside without dropping this bottom plate. But I've never taken those bolts off before, never intend to take them off again, so we're just gonna put them back on there, tighten them up. All right, well, we got everything but the bottom plate back on. Got our fins back in. Should be ready to go. Okay, went to lunch. Before we had left, we found some water and some nasty stuff in here, and I was trying to keep our work area dry so that we weren't working in water, but that's really gross water, and now it's wet, and so we're just going to go ahead and start rinsing it. We're going to rinse that off, but kind of got to start at the source, which is right there. That's where the nasty stuff is. So we're going to try and clean it up a little bit, and then we'll, right there, that, we got to get that cleaned out of there. Okay, that's better. There's still some grain and stuff in there. We're going to let that dry out and then get shot back to clean the rest of it. But at least it's not going to still keep dripping water because the water is all drained out there. So that is good. I wiped the floor down, and we're going to work on some other stuff while it dries up. We're going to take this chain off, unloading auger drive chain. We put a new one of those on every year because they stretch, and I don't want to break one. So Brock's getting that off. And then we got another drive chain on the other side to come off too, so you gonna get that? Okay, you might need a ladder. Yeah. Meanwhile, over here, we're swapping these gathering chains through the oil bath one at a time, and then setting one up there to drip for a while and get all the excess off, and then laying them out over here where they go back on the head. So that should help lubricate them. It'll keep them from rusting at least. Well, we're jumping all over the place here today. I got the new boxes for our concaves, the ones that were bad here, and so I just took the one out, and, well, it doesn't sit real level. This one does. Yeah, you can see it's got pretty good bend in it right there. So we'll switch that one. This next one here might have a little bend. I'm going to take that one out and look at it, but I think those are the only two that are really potentially bad. So that is another one of the advantages of this style of concave, these condecs here. So these are the Condex KX7s. John Deere sells a version called the Condex Revolutions, that they're the half width like this, but they're a single piece. They don't have these individual boxes, so if you bend a spot on one of them, you can't just replace the $85 insert. You got to buy the whole almost $1,000 concave. So that's an advantage. Plus, as they wear out or whatever, we can replace individual ones as needed. But the other ones don't have the bending issue that these round bar ones did. Not that I'm that concerned about it, but yeah, it's an advantage. Part of why I like these. While we're fixing and replacing stuff, we have this piece here that is the Z-bar that the concaves bolt to. And remember, this bolt was wore out, and I was going to replace that bolt and weld on there, and then I realized, hey, wait a minute, this edge is like razor sharp here compared to down here. So we bought a new one, and we got to zip these bolts out. It's right there. We'll replace that real quick here. Yeah, that bolt was pretty rough shape there, so I did get new bolts too. But this piece can go on the scrap pile. There, like that. These bolts have some sort of high wear head. Yeah, and we got new welds, and they last for a while. Okay, the next one of our little projects here is to take out that one row of separator grates that we're going to replace. We got them out. It's rather difficult. This side's no problem. The other side, big problem. But we can look at the differences between them here. So the old ones, they actually would come out in 4 pieces. We did it in 2, but we'll have to take those apart. The new one is 3 pieces, and you can see how many rows of fingers there are versus these. Like, these fingers are a lot bigger. And then over here we've got these disruptors like I talked about that those don't have. They call these the heavy duty separator grates. I don't know. Supposedly it helps break the material apart in the mat of crop residue going around that rotor so that it gets the grain out of it faster and gives it more holes and opportunities to fall through. We'll find out. Okay, well, I was hoping to use these bolts to bolt the new ones together. I did not realize, one, that there was 3 across instead of 2, and also they're longer. They're not going to work, so we're going to have to find some bolts. I might have some, or we can go get some. I only need 6. It's not a lot. You also notice there's some holes in the sides here. They wanted me to replace 3 sets of the 4 there with these heavy-duty ones, but they're sort of expensive, and I didn't want to do that. So we're just doing 1. They don't have to be bolted together. The ones in there are not bolted together. We're leaving the other 3 rows just how they are and just going to replace this front one. So, yeah. All right, well, these new ones are in 3 pieces instead of 4. We're going to try and put 2 in together and then do the third one because it'd be too big and heavy and awkward to get in there with 1 piece, but we might be able to get it 2 pieces in and then reach the other one. Yeah, we'll see. It's a real pain getting in on the other side to try and get the bolts in, but do what we got to do. So we'll get our lights set up here and stuff those in there. You pick that board up and get it on top of that other one? Yeah, it's on it. Any chance you're going to get that bolt in there? Yeah, there's a chance. Did you leave the bolts? I don't know. Oh, they're inside on the shaker pan. Okay. Oh, yeah. Uh-huh. Yep, there's no room over there.
No. I've been in this position before. It's not the getting in, it's the getting out by yourself.
Yeah.
Bolts go...
top down. Same as the other ones behind it.
Yeah, just turned out stuck.
Well, now we just gotta bolt them together. Alright, now it's just a matter of tightening everything up.
Yeah.
At those 3 bolts, those 2 on the other side. There's these spacers up here. Those you're supposed to put in here for corn harvest. We didn't do that this year. Alright, so Brock's getting our separator grates tightened up. You can see the new one in there and kind of see back through the rotor. And there's the interrupters, separator grates, or disruptors, whatever you want to call them. That, as that turns, kind of break the mat up a little bit. We have another wear piece inside here that we're going to replace that's worn through. I tried showing that before. It's going to be easier just to get it out and show you. I've got the bolts all out. I need to get a screwdriver and kind of pry it out. It fits up underneath the inside of this, and then it's this middle piece here, so we need to wedge that out of there and pull it out, and I'll show it to you. This one looks wore out. I don't know if you can tell by the way that it is in this spot here that you can... Can you guys tell in this general area that one is wore out? I probably missed that one last year. We probably should have changed this one already. Here's the new one. It's right. Well, it looks much better. It definitely is not the same. In fact, we weren't too far from wearing that one, especially in the front there, to the point where it was going to grab the rotor and it was going to get thrown out the back of the combine. That one's not good. So good thing we got this. I found that. You might want to check that one if you own one of these combines with 1,000-ish hours on it. This wear piece on the inside of the rotor by your concaves on the right-hand side of the combine, it's wore through. I just about guarantee it. And I'm pretty sure this is stainless steel and super hard. So, there's that. Now, here's the problem. I did not get bolts for this, but I'm pretty sure they're the same bolts that were on that other one that we just changed over here. And while a couple of these were worn through. Most of them weren't, and the bolts were still good, so we could probably find 4 decent ones to put in here. All right, here's the bolts that came out of there. This one here, I don't know, it's got a few acres left in it, Brock. That one, okay, fine, we'll replace that one. That one, I mean, I can still read the 12.9 on there, so there's that. That one, we can't read it, but, you know, it's got a little wear. And that one, kind of read it. Okay, we might have to reuse this one. Brock's got me 2 good ones, and another one that's kind of good. Yeah, I should probably get new bolts, but then I have to wait, and I can't install this right now. Actually, we can put it in, just put those last couple bolts in later. Maybe we'll do that. This bolt is still good, for sure. This bolt is also still good. Those 2 are iffy. Okay. Now, the tricky part of this is getting this one back in there, because, like I said, it's got to get wedged in between that top rail up there and get everything lined up. We'll see what we can do. Look at it. I even got the holes lined up. See, there's our new shiny piece in there. Cool. All right. Well, we can get our top bolts put in. We'll reuse 2 of those old bolts, and then we'll get some more, and we can put them in later. Got that piece bolted in there. Got our separator grate changed. We got that piece changed. Good deal. I think we're ready to bolt our floor back up underneath the fan here. That's this piece. It's cleaned and dried off. The floor's not dry, but it's at least not dripping anymore. So we will go ahead and climb under there and get that thing bolted back up in place so that we are done with the fan side of stuff. I think we'll be good then. Yeah. Got it. Gotta finish tightening some bolts. You got a wrench?
It's underneath you.
Oh, okay. There's a couple that we aren't going to be able to get on with the impact, like that one. And then we're going to need a wrench to hold those ones. I didn't accomplish what I had set out to accomplish today. We were supposed to put a corn head back together. Unfortunately, they didn't get that done with the parts that we had on hand. So we'll see if we get them tomorrow. It's possible they come tomorrow afternoon. It's possible it takes a couple more days. Who knows? With Christmas and the holidays right now and shipping being crazy busy, you don't know when you're going to get stuff. But we'll get it together when we get it. Fortunately, we got a lot done in the combine. We had quite a bit to do there, and we got it done. So that is good. We'll try and keep working on stuff here tomorrow, whether that's the corn head. If the parts come tomorrow, it'll probably be late morning, early afternoon if they do. Otherwise, we haven't changed oil or filters or any of the stuff to this combine yet. So we could drop the head, back this outside, let it run for a little bit, warm everything up, and then bring it in and do the service stuff and the oil change and the air filters and the hydraulic filters and the fuel filters and all of that kind of stuff. So that's kind of my thought process for tomorrow. I also might do some seed stuff if I get some guys to call me back or let me know when's a good time to come. And then I've got other stuff going on later in the week, so it is what it is. We'll get there. But thanks for watching today. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them down below. If you like the video, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. Would appreciate that. And we'll see you again tomorrow for sure. I do have some stuff going on later in the week where we might not make some videos every day this week, but that's okay. We'll get there. See ya. Whoa, wait a minute. Almost forgot to put this in the video. I didn't forget, but I almost forgot to put this in the video that today is Rylan, my oldest son's birthday. So he is 8 years old today. Happy birthday, bud. We love you. And yeah, you guys wouldn't mind throwing him a happy birthday down in the comments for me. Appreciate y'all. Thank you. Okay.
Thank you, Daddy.
What do you think? It's a green bike. It's what you've been asking for.
Wait, did you actually get it from that place?
We got it.
Yeah. I need a bike too.
It's not your birthday.
Well, I need a bike.
Well, guess good thing you got a birthday between now and summer, huh?
Can I open this?
Yep, open it up.
I don't think you can ride this. It looks too big.
What's mine?
For you.
Kind of does look too big. Yeah. I know. I want so big.
It's too big?
Yeah. That's why you didn't like it.
Ryland's gonna like it?
Yeah.
I think you're right, sis.
Look,
Ooh, lights for the wheels. Those are cool. Happy birthday, bud.
Put them on.
Put them on.